So we lost a couple of important things just happened that we probably should have come back 5 seconds earlier for. First off, to catch you guys up real quick, Losira had a drone, cancels it, goes for the early pull instead. Secondly, I'm gonna force play the plague thing again because this guy earned it.
Okay, I kind of caught it, but you can do it again.
All right. It's so loud. Thank you, Paul Kaspersky for the $5 donation. The top Korean caster of the day says was meant to sub last month, but life, you know, you guys are rad. Big love from the land down under.
Thank you.
Good eye, mate. Was that offensive? I don't know. Anyways, we're getting into the game.
Yeah.
Things are already getting a little bit heated. So in the top left, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time today, it's going to be the red Zerg player, Losira.
The bottom right, as the blue Protoss, it is Super. And thank you also to Spike Monchi for the 3-month resub. Spike
so
Monchi.
this was actually really important. Super came across the map to do what you normally would. You know, scout with the probe, block up the hatchery, be annoying. Accidentally stumbles on this early pool. I'm probably really grateful for that too. It's interesting though, you notice what he was building for this? He built a forge back at home. He wants cannons for defense.
Yeah. We've seen this a few times, and I think it was by Super and then one other Protoss that I can't remember. Because for whatever reason, there was like a month where a lot of Korean Zergs were going for early pools. And you saw multiple responses to it.
Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel.
That kind of sucks. Luckily, Super does have a little bit extra in cash to help out.
He needs to build another pylon.
Cannon,
he needs to build another pylon, but he doesn't have the money for it.
Please. Oh my god. Oh my god, that cancel actually did it. Oh my god. I can't believe that cancel
may have actually what killed him.
It might have been. He was missing 27 minerals, I think.
Oh my god. Yeah, he was at 67, I believe, was the number. And this feels bad, man. Cannon does go down, but he does clean up a majority of the lings. Problem is, there's still more coming. And with Super having no money to work with, this is... I don't know. If there's more lings coming, if Losira didn't decide to drone, if he didn't decide to play this safe, I think he would have won the game.
Yeah. This still sucks for Super in like more ways than one. Actually he might tap out now.
This is a lot more probes lost than acceptable. Yeah, this goes from 0 to 12.
Oh yeah, he should tap out. Oh my god. I was gonna say, besides the probes going down, he also should have had a semi score. If the forge wasn't gonna help out anyway, there wasn't gonna be able to get a cannon up. Should have had a semi score, so he started his warp gate. But that would have been delayed too. So that was just very unfortunate, despite scouting, despite having an answer on a larger map. If that is Dusk Towers, he totally holds.
I think if he canceled the pylon, he holds.
That too. He literally, like, I cannot believe, like, I really thought he'd have an extra 10, right? He'd be at 110 minerals, barely gets it down. Then said he was missing 20 to 30 minerals, which exactly the pylon would have been so helpful for. Oh my god.
It's so crazy because it was exactly... Yeah, this was just, there's so much precision there, but not even necessarily like good precision, right? Like it wasn't surgical execution. It just really came down to such a minute detail that made the biggest difference in that game.
Yeah, that's so funny. And I wonder also, like, if he hadn't pre-pulled an extra 4 probes, would that have been enough minerals extra too? Like, rarely do you see that work out so well for the Zerg, I suppose, but that ends up working. Freebie game. Now going to New Gettysburg. I am yawning so much, and I actually got like a decent amount of sleep. I was woken up like about 5 times in my cats, but I went to bed at like 11.
Yeah. That's impressive that you got sleep, man.
Oh, damn it. Blame it on you,
Hey, so mods from the previous series, or bets from the previous series weren't paid out initially. I just paid those out manually. I think Dom might be the only mod around tonight, guys, but I know he's kind of busy, so big love to him for trying to do what he can with the bets in chat.
There's the countdown.
This one's already underway, so if bets haven't been set up, there probably won't be for this one, but I will make sure that there are bets set up for the finals for you guys.
Good deal. Let's see if Losira goes for another early pool. He totally could, assuming that Super doesn't scout, but he knows Super scouts, and he knows that now Super will be extra paranoid, so that would be quite the risk. And he's not canceling that drone. Alright, in the bottom left, as the previous winner, it is the red Zerg, Losira.
And his opponents, none other than the blue Protoss, Super. Looking to not have a super duper short game this time around.
No. I mean, Losira could still do some tricky things. He could go for, like, still like a pull first, but I think he's done with the early aggression. Actually preempting the pylon wall, again, block rather, because he knows he saw the probe scout last time, just got a little bit lucky on the timing of the minerals to get his lings into the natural base, so he just preempts it. Goes for the third base. It's put down. So Super, seeing the timing on the spawning pool, with a lack of the timing on the spawning pool, knows that he is safe to go for his own Nexus, and he does go for a Nexus first. Well, I actually wish we kind of saw a longer game last game, just because now I have no idea what to comment on. I mean, Super loses to a cheese. That happens. But I don't remember what his PVZ looks like otherwise.
Well, okay, so for me, Super actually, I was impressed because he did a lot of things right. And what I mean by this, for example, is I really, really liked his choice for cannons. I like the idea of trying to play it calm and cool behind that build control. Like he didn't do anything that I really thought was wrong. It's just unfortunate though that it came down to, well, the one thing that was wrong, and was the lack of a build cancel, right? Like,
yep, one mistake. But I can't remember what Super does mid game, late game versus Zerg. So that's why I'm like really concerned. You know, Losira already got this super easy, quick up 1-0, and it is only a best of 3. And Super chooses a map that I don't think Zergs are really going to be like, oh man, why did you choose this one? Like, I think Zergs are fine in New Gettysburg in all of their matchups. ZvZ is kind of tricky, I would say. It's actually pretty fun on this map, but it's still, like, yeah, it's a macro map. And if you let Losira get to maxed out Roach, Ravager, Baneling, or whatever he wants to do, he's going to feel as comfortable as you are getting to double Robo, Immortals, Archons, whatever that Super does want to get to. But the Overlord gets some free scouting here. Finally, the double gateways do finish. He's actually going to go for an Adept and a Stalker. Doesn't want to not let Losira have the freest of scouting for too long. That Overlord has to get out soon, in fact. I think if it goes this direction, it's going to die. Like, for sure now. Right? Stalker takes a while to kill an Overlord, but this Overlord's, like, in the middle of his base. Huh. We also have 12 Lings on the way. Oh, this Overlord might... No. I wonder if the Overlord was bait. Like, hoping there wasn't another unit blocking off the wall. But it was 2 gateways. He would have another unit. He just really wanted to get a scout. It's unfortunately a pretty basic build, though. Twilight Council and Robo over here. And he just loses the Overlord.
well, with the links coming in, if they get past that wall, and that's a pretty big if we're gonna be honest. I mean, there's a Adept, there's a Stalker there. I don't think this gets past the wall so easily. But it might take a couple of extra pylons. It might take an extra gateway. Like, he's going to have to build something a little bit extra. That Stalker's not quite here on the front line initially. Now joins up. And, yeah, it's for Losira, it would have been cool if he'd been able to slip right on in. But Super's not going to make that mistake.
Well, Super might be taking advantage of the fact that he was able to kill the second Suicidal Overlord. Because this one could still suicide in it as well. But because Losira was only there for so long... and then he slapped down additional gateways and a Dark Shrine, this might just be too surprising for Losira to deal with. This is a fairly popular build, I would say, from Protosses nowadays, too, by the way. To not only get the Resident Enclaves and do a big Adept attack, but also to follow up with a Dark Shrine. So I'm curious to see if Losira will, A, take too much damage from the Adepts, first and foremost, but then B, forgets to follow up with Detection. I mean, he has a Lair, he has an Overseer, but the question is he going to have, like, you know, everything in position, basically. He's only getting one Cautionary Spore Crawler. Changing's gonna see all these Adepts. It's not a super disturbing amount yet, but then seeing the Warp Prism and seeing the next round, okay, now he's like, oh, that's more than just a couple of gateways. Oh, Spore Crawler, why are you so awkward? Why you do this? Wants to stop the War Prism from getting from freebies. If he had more creeps, he actually might have tried to wall off the bridge. So if he does get the Warp Prism, there's no further warp-ins, but or easy warp-ins, but he's not even getting the Warp Prism quite yet. The DTs do get into the main base. I think he saw the Shimmer. He might be dealing with the DTs in the main base, but he's not dealing with the Adepts at his third. And they might just be able to get a straight-up kill on a base. Oh, there was almost one down. Oh, that was close. I mean, well, Adepts too. I don't know what you're trying to do there. Adepts do take a while to kill structures, and though they get it very low, initially they weren't target firing, and again, they just take a long time in general. So Losira saves his third, saves the drones in the main base, hasn't lost that much army supply, and in fact, the more that Super commits with these Adepts, more likely he's not going to have an army to stop a counterattack. And Losira is just in a great position. I mean, this was pretty blind. He did see the Robo on that Council. He saw the timing on that. But he didn't see, like, the gas... Oh, I actually barely saw the gas geyser timing. That might have told him a lot. He also might just know Super, know the recent trend of Protoss builds. He had enough to defend just in case that further defense was easy enough for him. And yeah, he cut his drones a little bit to do that. Of course, you have to. But he's quickly replenishing that, going up to about 65. And all Super is going to do is just try and follow up again with another all-in? Maybe? No? No, he's going to try and get a third base. Alright. I can't tell. He's banking enough minerals, but he's also moving out with the Warp Prism. He does have a superior army supply. Maybe Losira is too quick to try and macro again. Doesn't have any Ravagers either, which could have helped out. Link speed isn't done after they're so helpful. They're really just, you know, fodder here. Roaches get right on top of the army, and the Warp Prism's not there to help reinforce. Adepts splits, shade across. Stalker's gonna left to fend for themselves. A Spinecrawler was put in the main base. Nice to add on here for Losira. Natural's not being touched. Third is cleaned. No, not cleaned up. Sorry. 2 Adepts getting a lot of drone kills. But is this enough? This is another situation where, okay, maybe you do end up getting like 30, maybe even 40 drone kills. Can you hold on the defensive? Ooh, that is a lot of DTs.
Yeah, that warp-in just now was really nasty because he just watched all the roaches leave. I think he's feeling confident in doing this. Turns out to kill the roaches? I mean, he probably could.
He needs to focus for the DTs if he wants to actually stop the lair from going down. It's going to go down. It's definitely going to go down. That could have gone better for both sides, but Losira has also lost all of his drones. Like, seriously, all of his drones. His only hope is to counterattack, but he's not even going to try. Super. Gets denied initially, super hard, and just follows up and wins.
Win behind Dark Shrine, Zombie Grub. Never forget.
But he was behind because he got a Dark Shrine.
Well, he was actually playing so far ahead of the game, it looked like he was...
Yeah, something like that. Well,
either way, that's going to send us to the ace match now.
Yes, it is. Because of it, so we're going to take a quick 2 minutes break. See you guys when the game is ready. Welcome back, everybody. We are in game number 3, the ace match of the second semifinal in the Olimoleague Weekly. In the bottom right, pinging, apparently, is the red Zerg Losira.
And his opponent in the top left, it is the blue Protoss Super.
I kind of forgot that this was a thing, but we had this back in the CSL when I was streaming it. I sometimes, depending on the server, the day, I don't know, can hear the pings, and sometimes I can only see the pings.
Yeah, I actually didn't see any pings, so...
Interesting, it was a defensive ping. It had a little shield up, like, defend here!
Well, that's funny because you have to actually drag your ping too for that. Like if you just alt-click or whatever, it just pings once, right? But if you alt-click and drag it, that's what's the defend or the attack or on my way signals.
Yeah, it happened again, but with a different signal on the mineral lines. Am I seeing like the Korean casters ping? That would be trippy.
I don't think so because I would probably see those too. I don't know, man. That's weird because there's nothing. Like, for example, StarCraft doesn't recognize whether Zombie Grub or I are the ones streaming. But for some reason, it's only that person streaming that ever seems to see these pings.
Weird. Well, steals mineral, gets out of there, whatever to the pings. Don't even know. I think it was supers because it was blue, but whatever. Comes back. This is basically, you know, he's scouted. He's been scouting. He knows he doesn't have to worry about a pool first, and he gets away once again with the Nexus being very, very quick. Which worked out for him last game. You know, wasn't denied anything for it. And Losira, well, Losira probably could have, you know, won that game. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's not when behind Dark Shrine. It's when your 2-base all-in fails, do another one. That Protoss saying. And it worked. I don't know if he can do it again, though. Losira, he gave up an Overlord a little bit too early. Might be thinking about that later. Or in this game, sorry. As he sends his Overlord this time. Probably up here? If he has 2 Overlords on either side of King Sejong's main base, I can't see a way that Super stops him from scouting.
Well, scouting or not aside, we'll see what these Adepts can do. What's nice about Adepts, of course, is, well, yeah, you can keep them home, stick them between the buildings, SimCity off, and all that good stuff. Sometimes all you need is 1 or 2 to slip by those lings and go straight to the mineral lines.
Yeah. At the very least, this forces out the 12 lings that Losira he got last game, tried to use offensively. This game, I think this was combination, okay, I know there's going to be Adepts running across the map, but also speed this time. He skipped it last time. Evolution Chamber as well. Overlord drops. Another good use for having your Overlords in these positions. Additionally, should this do enough damage, you can go into +1 melee. The 3rd base is going to get finished up too. Be a bit of a larva factory, but be able to also macro out of this. The 3rd base, funnily enough, might just finish as Losira focuses on the main and natural, but it draws the Mothership Core out of position. He has no idea this is about to happen. He barely gets the Adept and the wall at the natural, but what about the main?
Yeah, it's got to pick and choose your poison on this one. He overcharges the natural too, so there's nothing to deal with what's in the main. Playing the probes away is probably the best course of action. Other side of the map, however, he does get some Adepts in, and both players are losing pretty close to the same amount of workers.
10-8. Photon Overcharge goes away, gets the Adept, runs. Unfortunately, just a couple links for it.
This is last overcharge, though, so he can't overcharge in the main, for example. 10 workers for 10 workers, though. Interesting split when it comes to this. This piling going down is going to be really annoying to lose. That's Resonating Glaives, possibly denied. And, oh, my God. Does he keep that alive just barely?
Yeah. This, I think, went better for Super, though. Even though they killed the same amount of workers, Losira gave up more to do it, I would say. Just because the 3rd base, it should have actually been an easy denial, but maybe he only gets 2 probes because he denies this. Or, well, because he could have won with the point is, this 3rd base actually getting up like this for Super, uncontested, really, that's pretty bad for Losira. They're at an even worker count, I suppose, but it feels like something that should not have been a gimme for Super. But maybe it won't matter in the long run. Losira did go for the +1 melee, he did go for a Baneling Nest, he's playing that style. He's getting a few more lings. I don't think you can cancel it, or deny it now, but looking for some map control.
I really like the Overlord speed, too, for this. Not just for scouting, but you still got that one little Overlord in the back tucked away, and if you can bring that for some drops, again, that'd be nice.
That's true.
We're not gonna do it slow, that's for certain. But speed, maybe you actually get to the mineral lines. Maybe you get those Banelings in.
That's true. Could also go for Baneling drops later on, for sure. Banelings form defensively.
Unfortunately, though, these are going to be Banelings without speed and off of creep, so getting them on top of the Adepts is going to be a big challenge.
Mm-hmm. But that is why they're just pure defensive right now. So Super realizes that, doesn't bother shading in and just shades out, actually. I was wondering if he built any Banelings over here. I didn't realize he had a couple off to the side, I suppose. So this one's going to get a hit. Yep. Or, nope, JK. It was on hold position.
Yeah, I think it was one of the 2 lings that actually barely escaped the overcharge and just morphed him in.
The split from Super was pretty damn good there. The Bailings actually couldn't decide what to explode on. But in doing so, of course, the Lings hit us around, and the depths are still cleaned up. One more drone for you. That's it, though. Alright. Production on the way for Super. That Resident Glaive, you know, +1. Almost Fiasco ends up finishing. And he does have his, his production, which is like what I'm mostly worried about getting finalized. Losira goes for 4th base, a lair. That lair, I guess it's well-timed enough. Also +1 missile attack, so all on the attack upgrades.
And there we go. Sucks up all the Lings, goes towards the main. Gonna drop those out over by the mineral lines. Looks like we also have a drop going to the natural. This one's got Banelings in it, however, and this one's the more important one.
He's not gonna see it. He's not gonna pull. Not a fully saturated mineral line, but certainly a lot of kills.
Is pretty lame. Of course, the Lings in the main getting dropped out here too. Gonna go for that pylon maybe. Depower several of those key buildings. Attack on the other side of the map out of Super. Not quite gonna hit Losira that hard.
No, I think Baneling's got some really nice splash damage on the Adepts. The probes are to be pulled into this. The probes are pulled back before the Adepts clean every single Ling up, so 18 workers go down, and his attack is not working. The drones, yeah, if they're pulled, I was gonna say, it should not take as many drones lost as Super's probes were lost.
I love that the Overseer just kind of floats away too, by the way. Or Overlord, excuse me.
Bye. Yeah. Well, the Warp Prism... Oh, it did die. Oh, I guess the Queen got like the last hit on it. Ooh, that's pretty nice for Losira. Now he really doesn't have to worry about taking the same amount of worker kill damage. Now, he's only up by 6. It's not super impressive, but he did also deny Super's attack, so he's cut Super's army a little bit too. Upgrades are going to be even. He's getting the layer tech now, roach speed, and centrifugal hooks. Because of that, I do expect a main huge engagement before Losira, like, for instance, goes for a Spire or, like, a Hydralisk End. But he has to be on the defensive again here as Super pushes forward to the depths. This might be a mistake. I don't know. It's always so scary. Like, you might get an additional, you know, even 10 workers killed. 12 probes go down to another couple of Banelings. But you're going to give up even more of your army supply as Losira preps for an attack, so this might really backfire on Super.
Yeah, he's... excuse me, it's that Protoss problem, right? Okay, you did a lot of damage, congratulations, but you gave up your entire army for it, and it's just no way to stop counters at this point. I would actually love, by the way, if this... He obviously doesn't have the capability to do it, but like a Night Swarm or something would be hilarious. And effective, I feel.
He's buying even more time with another Warp Prism from the Warp Prism, but yeah, staying around 40-30 army supply, while Losira's army supply is growing. Doesn't even have Blink. He's like Stalker's back here.
It's not even like Super's not trying or anything. It's just unfortunate because he has had to dedicate so much elsewhere. I mean, the probe count, you're like, yeah, 60 probes, income is nice. But that army supply... still suffering.
Banelings aren't quite ready. He goes in a little prematurely, hoping to get some Lings run by. Doesn't work out. Okay, 2 Lings ran by. Doesn't really work out. But there are the Banelings. Not too many, but the Protoss army all clumped up together. Has to split the last second. Now going for the probes instead. Without Ravagers, without too many Banelings, Losira's initial 40, 30, what was it, army supply lead just looks like nothing. Again, warping in Stalkers that don't even have Blink. I just want to keep like reminding everyone of that, because this would look a lot stronger where they upgraded and with their Blink tech, but it's actually just normal Stalkers, and mass Lings would probably do well, especially because they are upgraded.
So do you think units get sucked into an Overlord, or do you think they just jump into it?
I think the tendrils like pick them up. That's where they have some.
Oh, it's like Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
Except Hungry Hippos has no tendrils in it, or tentacles for that matter. Anyways.
It's nothing like Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, not important. The Roaches actually chased this back, interestingly enough, and there were mortal support behind it. The Roaches can actually take these hits. Big Warp Prism warping. If those Corsair Boss hit the Warp Prism, though, none of these Adepts would have finished up. A little bit unfortunate there because I think Losira's got some tunnel blinders on as he chases into Super even deeper. That being said, might not even be that much of a problem. Still a lot of supply left for Losira, and Super is taking some pretty big hits.
It went surprisingly equal, and since the Warp Prism's not dead yet, his only Ravager's left over, he does warp in more Adepts. You can imagine if those Stalkers had Blink. He did a great job splitting for non-Blink.
Stalkers and Immortals aside from it, there are going to be +2 Lings in just some time, and he's winning the fight decently now. Once those kick in, he just run past and go straight for bases. Let's not forget as well, +2 on the Banelings should be enough to take out those probes.
Yes, that is true. Super really doesn't want to let him do that, but he is losing the fight, and now then some, as he's clearly over-dedicating to the Warp Prism attack. 19 armor supply left over, not a lot. He does do a bit of a trick. Actually went back, looking to buy some time. But his main's mining out. Of course, he's had to rebuild so many probes over this core. Oh my god, the worker kill count for both of them is kind of extreme, but Losira, I was gonna say he has better mining as a 4th base, that's pretty healthy, but now he's using drones of his own again. Super does take a 4th base. Oh, but the Banelings. Oh, but the Banelings. That's, what, 15 less probes? Yes, yes it is.
+2 weapon upgrades for melee is really nice if you're looking for these sort of carpet bombs. Even then, those probe kills, as good as they are, this evens it up at best. Still sitting in a bit of an awkward spot as both players are on 40 workers apiece.
That is so funny. This is how it started off. This is how it's gonna end.
I like that he doesn't just simply kamikaze in there, and he's gonna wait and hope that Super moves away and forgets about that Overlord. The rocks in the back are not down, by the way, so I'm not sure those Lings are planning to do.
Break them.
Yeah, I guess. It's the only option.
It's probably gonna go ahead and use Curse of Battles on it too. Hope that Super isn't paying attention. Well, either way, paying attention left or right, loses more probes. 14 more probes is gonna bring him down to almost 30 below that of Losira, who again is on 4 bases, still pretty healthily mining. Upgrade's now going to be even more in favor of Losira with a 2-1-1. Not gonna say that too often. I mean, Losira, I've always felt has been winning this game and just has been unable to close it out. And it's a similar situation here.
That's a safe way to describe it. I think on top of this, it's just this game has been so much about Losira picking and choosing the actions of what's going on. GG. But I mean, it was Losira who's pushing pressure on the mineral lines. And while Super tried to do the same thing back to him with classic Adept moves, it just did not measure up to what was eventually going to be those +2 Banelings.
By the way, I love that he had like 9 sentries at the end. He just started banking so much gas. His Adepts really aren't that gas heavy, but he took all 6 gases. Had he gone for Templar Archives, that could have really been a lot more helpful. Well, anyway, it's going to be a TVZ in the finals. Best of 5 between Ryung and Losira. I do believe the Korean casters need at least 5 minutes for a break. That's typically what happens before the finals. So we'll keep you guys updated in chat and head off to a break screen.